Yeah. Bet fans, you're not going to like this. I promise you're not going to like this. What's happening? It's 10:02 on the Fan. Ranger fans. This is an ugly game last night, Tiki. Ugly stuff. Yankees look pretty good. So I got a question for everybody. Maybe I'm going to have my partner answer this first. He of the 86 comparisons, as irresponsible and outlandish as they were a week ago.
Only if they win a championship, ET.
Can you explain to me, and all of the praise has been justified, Mets this, Mets that, resilient, combined no-hitter, walk-off, cycles, leading the league in a multitude of offensive categories, running away with the division, although here come the Braves. Can you explain to me how the Mets do not retaliate and respond when their guys keep getting drilled? Do you have an answer for me as a former athlete?
I don't. The only thing I can say is that this is, or speculate about, is that this is an indication of how Buck Showalter, their skip, is trying to keep them level-headed throughout whatever emotion comes through this season. And we always talk about how a team takes on the personality of their head coach, their manager, skip, whatever you want to call them. And it feels like that's what the Mets are doing. Buck is as even-keeled as they come, right? He's going to be practical. He's going to be pragmatic. He's going to be contemplative, introspective, all those things. And that's how he believes that you thrive through adversity. And right now, the Mets are facing some adversity as it's compounding on top of itself. We already know the Scherzer and DeGrom stuff, and Tylor McGill is out. It feels like Tylor is going to come back soon. But the reason that you don't react emotionally is because it takes you in a place that he's not sure that they can handle. And so if you ask for an answer, that's the one I'm giving you on why the Mets, after now being hit – what number
40
is
times.
40 times, which is
40.
Which is way ahead in the league in Major League Baseball. Do not respond to this.
Okay, so that's the answer.
That's my answer.
Is that an answer that you subscribe to? I know you're trying to convey what you think the Mets are thinking. Do you, as a former athlete, agree with that?
I don't mind it.
Really?
Yeah, not at all.
Okay.
And it's only, maybe this is my personality. Like, I never was one to get emotional, ever. I got pissed off one time in my career. I threw a punch at a long snapper who hit me after I called for a fair catch, and I didn't fair catch it. And I got fined, whatever it was, $12,000 or something. I think I pulled it back to $7,000 on appeal, but whatever. After that, I never responded emotionally.
12 G's as a young buck?
Oh, dude.
Oh, that had a sting.
Oh, man, it was big. But it was nothing ultimately.
Did you at least connect?
No. And that was the bad part about it.
Jeez.
And so I have always believed that if you get emotional, you get out of your game. Like, I never was one of those guys that had to listen to heavy metal and get myself all riled. And this is to play football. Forget baseball. This is to play football. I never believed that you get yourself all jacked up and riled up and you're banging your head against the wall. It was going to make you a better player.
Yeah, no, I understand that. It was a fine line.
It would distract from
there's a balance,
like the process and the mental preparation and the precision that it takes to be great.
Okay.
And so
what if Eli got hit 3 times in a row, late, obviously after the whistle? You tell me Deal's not crushing somebody?
Of course.
O'Hara's not hammering somebody?
Yes, but inherent to their job, Richie and O'Hara and all those guys, Kareem McKenzie, inherent to their job is being violent.
And wouldn't Coughlin want them to do that?
Of course.
Okay.
That's what offensive linemen are supposed to do. But for a skill position player,
Jockey would jump in.
It gets you off your game. Well, Jockey was like a hybrid.
He'd jump in on anything.
He was a hybrid, man. It's
I
the
don't
guy
know,
you want
man.
to foxhole.
And
as a baseball player, I
here
think
we go. Baseball's different. You can't have emotion in baseball.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you get distracted, when your mind gets caught up on something that doesn't matter.
There's nothing distracting about it.
Doesn't
you hit my
matter.
guy, I hit your guys. What's so distracting? There's nothing nebulous. So I'm just going to hit you back.
If you get emotional,
what is so hard about that?
If you get emotional about it, then all of a sudden, I'm answering your question.
But I don't like your answer.
Okay. I'm answering you as an athlete.
I don't think Met fans like your answer.
If you get distracted, if you want to call them soft, call them soft.
I'm not even going there. It's like, I don't understand why there's never any retaliation. Never.
Because Buck doesn't want it.
Oh, well, then Buck might have to change things up a little bit. Here's what should have happened, and Buck's doing great, but here's what should have happened last night. Manny Machado should have taken 96-mile-per-hour cheese in his shoulder blade. That's what should have happened. And I'm just thinking about, to contrast this, right, whether it's the 86 Mets, and we always talk about them, and listen, it's baseball. It's not boxing. I understand that. But there are limits. You get pushed around. You get taken advantage of. You get... I don't know if punked is the right word, but nobody fears that the Mets are going to retaliate. And if you want to be what many of us think that the Mets can be, to me, that is the one element that's missing. A willingness.
The edge?
Yes. Because you know what happened? Remember when Tino Martinez got drilled by Armando Benitez?
Different era.
No, but it shouldn't be. You know what happened? What happened was Graham Lloyd, Jeff Nelson, Darryl Strawberry, Scotty Brocious, they all came swinging. Guys from the bullpen, the fight spewed into the dugout against the Orioles. Now, that's dangerous. I don't even necessarily want to see that. I'm really not advocating reckless violence. But Jesus, the first three of the first five guys get up. Nimmo smacked. Alonso, 96-mile-per-hour cheese, smacked. McNeil smacked. So let me tell you this. Like if DJ LeMahieu, Rizzo, and Judge, who by the way was phenomenal again last night, takes one off his backhand. And I don't think it's broken. I know the X-rays were initially favorable. Thank God for Alonso. He's having a great year. Mets need him. He's in the MVP race. But if that happened to Judge last night, I'd be saying the same thing. The difference is, I think the Yankees would have handled it.
So let me ask you the question that matters. This is the brass tacks question.
Okay.
Does their lack of aggression, their lack of emotionality in the face of getting hit 40 times in 54 games, does that prevent them from being a potential championship quality team, caliber team?
Not literally.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But it doesn't bolster their chances. There's something to be said for unity, and I do think this team's very unified. So maybe that's not the right word, but for accountability.
Yeah,
There's something to be said for accountability.
But BT, it sounds like you're talking about the unwritten rules of baseball.
Well, maybe I am.
If this happens and you got to do this,
well, okay.
And if you don't, you're not a good baseball team.
If one guy got clipped last night and it happened to be Alonso and there wasn't 39 prior hit by batsmen, I'd say, all right, it's baseball. One got away, a little loose. Maybe Alonso kind of leaned into it a little bit, kind of got caught a bit. Okay, but that's fine. I don't mean that you go out and you drill somebody the first time your guy gets hit. This has been a season-long trend. And don't tell me that Buck has been emotionless because from the first couple of weeks, Buck was the first one on the top step of the dugout chirping.
Yeah.
As he should be.
True.
I don't know why nobody is doing anything about this.
Well, I mean,
Huff, open up your microphone.
I don't want to. Who do you want to do something?
Anybody. Are you pissed about this?
You want Taijuan Walker?
What am I missing
You want Taijuan Walker to do something?
Did he start last night?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I do.
He can't find the plate.
Wait. Does he have an arm?
Yes, of course.
Does he have 5 fingers?
Of course he has
Does he have
an
a
arm.
baseball in those 5 fingers?
What's more important?
Hit somebody.
What's more important, retaliating or winning?
Both.
What's more important, retaliating or winning?
Well, more important, obviously, is to win.
Okay,
but you didn't
Walker,
retaliate, and you didn't win.
The advanced stat. Taijuan Walker's had a pretty good start to this season. He was 3-1 until yesterday. Now he's 3-2. But his advanced stats will tell you there's a little something off there, man. He's walking too many guys. He's pitching too many pitches in his outings. Right. I think Taijuan Walker at that point, because this is the first inning, by the way. This is 3 of the first 5 batters are hit. By Yu Darvish. And so Taijuan Walker is still focused on winning the game. He's trying to win the game.
Hit me with that nonsense. I'm so tired of that.
Because if he gets someone
on Twitter,
and then he gets up with him,
win the game. You got to defend your players' backs first.
I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't say.
Well, I'm just saying you get a lot of that.
I'm just telling you.
Get a lot. I think that is such a wuss response.
But isn't that more important? What's the best?
But you didn't even win the game.
Of course, they got destroyed in this game.
So when it's 7-0, hit somebody.
But not Taijuan Walker, right when it happened.
I don't think it matters who the hell hits somebody. The problem is nobody is hitting anybody.
Why is this bothering you so much?
Because I love baseball,
yes.
And there's just certain things I believe in.
But it sounds like you're talking about an era that is bygone.
No. Bench is clear at least 15 times this year around baseball. Just watch Quick Pitch.
Every
night I think somebody's chirping or doing something.
But hitting a batter after you've gotten hit.
No, not the first time. Maybe not even the second time. You hit Alonso, he leaves the game. you're getting drilled. You are getting stuck. Whether it's 97 in the ribs, 97 in the shoulder, 97 in the thigh, 97 in the ass, you are getting stuck.
No, but I'll ask again.
And I'm tired of the 86 comparisons when these guys seemingly don't even want to defend their own teammates. It is so out of whack.
Man. It's a different team. It's a different.
I understand that. That's why the comparisons are moronic.
It's a different mode of operation. They're gonna win. If the New York Mets are going to win the World Series, it's not going to be because they have flashy Darryl Strawberry or whoever it would be in this case. It's not because they have two great relievers in the bullpen who are basically guaranteed to not blow or they're going to hold and then get saves. It's not going to be because they have this amazing leader in Keith Hernandez. They're going to do it in a different way.
Okay.
Right? And so the comparisons aren't there because the teams are similar.
I understand that. Trust me, I'm well aware of that.
The comparisons are there because of the potential of this team. Right? Just like that 86 squad.
What has happened to New York City?
This
is ridiculous, man.
This team has a lot of potential, and the only thing they got to do is exercise
I already
and stay
see
the
these
course.
Stupid calls coming
Stay
in.
the
Not
course
a big
of what
deal.
they've done. Stay the
Every
course
team
of
gets
how
hit.
they've done
Not
it.
a big deal.
And not get caught
who are
up
these people?
in the old unwritten rules of baseball that mean jack
Okay, how about this? How about
in
this?
2022?
No. I did. First of all, I fundamentally disagree with that. Now, I do think that there has been a modification. There's been a resetting of the unwritten rules. No question. Bat flips are accepted. I'm fine with that. Pimping is much more acceptable. I'm okay with that.
But pimping ain't easy, though.
It ain't easy. One guy gets hit. I know it's not the 80s, and I'm not trying to bring it back there. Here's the thing. Here's why the Mets won't win the World Series if they don't. And I'm not saying that they won't. If they don't. They might not win the World Series is because until they do something about this, every opposing team is going to think that they've got the latitude to come inside. And you know what? The next time they come inside on Alonso, they might smash his hand into 16 pieces when the phalanges or those other little tiny bones burst, or his hamate bone, and he's out for the season. Then you won't win the World Series. But you know what? If you stick somebody 2 or 3 times and you say, whoa, this is not flying anymore, I guarantee Alonso's not going to get hit anymore. And if Alonso's healthy, then the Mets can win the World Series. Without Alonso, they're not that good. So there's your answer. I just don't understand this. I don't.
Alonso hasn't been hit the most.
He got hit in the face.
Seven hit by pitches.
He got hit in the head.
I understand that.
Almost broke his hand. What are you talking about?
Wilson Contreras has been hit 11 times.
It's not about the sheer number. It's not about the sheer number. I know the number. I don't even care. It's the optics, and it's now a season-long trend. Just like the Mets, are very good on the bases. Just like the Mets are resilient. The Mets are now being taken advantage of physically by other teams around baseball. I don't know. All right. It's not my team, so I really don't care at the end of the day. But, there's just certain things that need to be adhered to. And call me, caveman, me not yet fully evolved. The Big Loudmouth on the radio. Yeah, and sometimes you got to do something. You got to be kidding me with this. Oh, here we go. Dan is in Mattawan. Danny the pacifist. Go ahead, Danny. What's happening, buddy?
Goodness. Guys are killing me. You are killing me with this. I can't listen to Pete swung at that ball, first of all. Can I agree? Can we agree?
What about Nimmo? What about McNeil?
These things happen. The teams, every year, there's one team that always gets hit the most.
And I guarantee they retaliate.
I understand, but then the cycle continues. You retaliate, then the cycle continues.
Okay. So what?
Brandon, I agree with you. You're a baseball guy. I love you. Tiki, I love you. Big Giants fan.
Thank you.
The thing is you can't be afraid to pitch inside either, and you got to come inside to Pete. You can't leave the ball over the middle for Pete. He's going to kill you.
He's too good. I'm well aware of that, Dan. It's a delicate balance.
But at the same time, I do understand the Mets have been hit numerous times, but I don't know, man. I just feel like we're making such a big deal about this. Do you think pitchers are taking the mound gunning for the Mets?
It doesn't matter. You know what, Danny? First of all, I can't read their mind, so I'll be fair to them. I can't read it. I'm going to let you go on because you got a little kickback there. I don't know the intent, so I'm going to be fair to the opposing pitchers, but there becomes a point where, for me, intent doesn't even matter. It's just, does it happen too frequently or not?
I mean,
And the answer is the former.
Well, I think you have to take him, situation by situation. And I always say this because of you, Darvish. Like, I think of you, Darvish, and I'm like, he's not an aggressive inside pitcher who's just going to go attack the best play. Like, I just don't. I mean, maybe he is that guy. He just presents himself differently, but I don't see him as that kind of pitcher.
Who knows? It's not even the point.
I agree, but that's what makes you. That's what would make you retaliate. You know what I mean?
What if you think they're a headhunter? There's no headhunters. It's guys that don't know how to pitch inside because they're afraid to, and they're not allowed to.
By the way, the
That's a
Mets
big problem.
are number one in hit by pitch at 40.
Yeah.
Baltimore Orioles are 34.
Okay.
And the Mariners are third at 31. Even though the Mariners and Ty France have the most individual hit by pitches.
Okay.
By the way, he was hit by pitch most last year as well.
Yes,
27.
there's actually a skill to it, whether you're Ron Hunt or Don Baylor or some others along the way in baseball history. I get that. I don't want to see Pete Alonso in that category. Erickson, he's too good. Erickson, Clifton. Eric, what's happening, buddy? How are you today?
Morning, guys.
What's happening, Eric?
Same to you. Hope you guys are doing well. BT, I'm completely with you. We're not going to have a team if this continues. I've been telling you guys this for over a month. I wanted to see the next time, and this is what happens. When, prior to this, the last time Alonso got hit, what did I want? I wanted him to turn around, deck the catcher, and then charge the mound. Why? Because this is not going to stop until they go. And as much as I love Buck, I mean he's got to let these guys off the chain. Otherwise, Major League Baseball is not doing anything. We're not going to be able to get to the playoffs without this. And I mean, Tiki, I love you, man, but I mean, like, I know that you are not going to watch a guy come in late and deck Eli and not do anything about it. You would take that guy out.
Different. It's such a different sport. We can't even make that comparison because someone does that. It's like hockey in a sense in football. If you do that to somebody, you're getting your ass kicked for the next however many.
It polices
snaps.
itself.
It polices itself.
What about the NBA? Maybe a little bit of a better comparison. I know the modern NBA,
that's
not
not
the
happen.
90s
They're all
NBA.
brother-in-laws anyway. You know what I mean? They make too much money and they're brother-in-law each other. Like, you rarely see physicality in the NBA. That's why when Draymond Green, who gives you like a little shove under the shoulder, gets a potential double tech, a soft foul. Like, it's stupid.
Or puts
in the
his
NBA.
leg on
stupid in the
Jaylen
NBA.
Brown.
Exactly. It's like, come on, what are we talking about?
Oh, my God.
Baseball's the only one where this really applies.
Okay.
Where there is a retaliatory opportunity that should be taken. I just think the DNA of the Mets, starting with their skip, is not that. And so we can call for it all we want. I just don't see it happening because that's not how they win.
I understand that, but there's also times to call for it and there's times to not. I do think that there's, such a thing as coming a little bit too early to the party, like early in the season. If we were screaming like this or if I had this tone, all right, guys, let the season breathe a little bit. Take it easy. It's now the middle of June, basically. The Mets lead by, hit by pitches. And so let me ask you a question. If his hand did shatter, and it looks like the Mets avoided disaster, thankfully.
Yes.
If his hand shattered and he's out 9 weeks or 8 weeks, does that change your opinion? Because
no.
it shouldn't.
No.
Okay, at least you're consistently wrong with that.
It doesn't. They're just going to have to navigate who they bring up. Like, who's the guy?
Yeah, let's bring up Dom
Smith
Smith again. He's going to hit 180.
No, I don't
let's put J.D. Davis in first base.
Hoff said that before the show.
What
I
do you
don't
say?
want Dom Smith back
forget
up.
about it. Yeah, I mean, who knows? J.D. Davis can play there a little bit, I guess, but they're going to need to do a lot of things for the bench because a lot of guys are down right now. Marte, the soft tissue. And I'm not even getting on the air proclaiming impending doom for the Mets, despite the Braves getting really hot. This is a season-long theme, and in my opinion, it needs to be rectified. Tiki and Tierney inside the Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that at Town Fair, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. 877-337-6666. We'll get into the rain. That was a boring game, an ugly, choppy game for most of the game. We'll get to that a little later. Yankees red hot as well. Judge continues to roll. But, I mean, listen, if you don't care, then I shouldn't care for you. I can't imagine that there are not more fans, Met fans, that are with me than those who are not. The game hasn't changed that much. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan.